Well, that was a little bit embarrassing. Yes, people, welcome back to another Arsenal match reaction. Arsenal have been knocked out of the Carabao Cup in the fourth rounds at the hands of West Ham United. And first of all, congratulations to West Ham. I do have to say they played a terrific game. From start to finish, they were good going forward. They didn't have an abundance of chances, but the chances they did have, they took very well. I thought defensively, they were superb. Let's talk about Arsenal because the bulk of this video will make up Arsenal, as that is a club that I support. I'm guessing many of you that are going to be viewing support as well. That for me was the worst performance of the season. That was downright embarrassing. Embarrassing from minute 1 to minute 95. We offered nothing. All game offered nothing, man. Like, I see the team selection come out and I'm thinking, okay, it's pretty much our B team. Literally our B team as much as you could ask for it, man. Even players like Jorginho and Nketiah who start on the weekend, that is our B team, as we've got players like Partey and Jesus out. So let's see how our B team goes. No starters in there, apart from maybe Gabriel and Zinchenko and Ben White. But other than that, our full B team, how are they going to perform? Well, I'll tell you the answer, absolutely horrendously. That is how they perform. That was criminal, man. Genuinely criminal performance. Nothing going forward. It was like we're playing like kids. I mean, we passed the ball, but pass. What does that give you? No incision actually going through the football team. We were just there passing around left, right, but not cutting them open at any point. West Ham were not worried at any point in this game. They were not sitting there going, oh, Arsenal going to cut us open, oh, backs against the wall, on the ropes. Not at any point. West Ham were comfortable. They were letting us pass left and right because they know that that's not dangerous. It's when the ball goes through you into the danger areas around the penalty box. That's when you need to start worrying. But not at one point in this game did we ever really penetrate West Ham. The only time we did was when Odegaard came on the pitch and we got a goal from it. But that was genuinely the only time. Other than that, we had no incisive passes into the danger areas. Everything was just passing laterally from left to right, and that doesn't cause any danger. You can watch all the passing happening to left and right as much as you want. You can have as much possession as you want. I haven't seen the stats, but I can almost guarantee Arsenal had at least 2/3 of the ball today, at least 66% of the ball. But we never looked dangerous. If you look at the two chances from both teams, West Ham had the better chances. They deserved to win this game convincingly. We looked soft today. Soft, and West Ham exposed us a little bit. They really did. So, look, is it a performance that worries me long term? Not yet, because it's our B team and it is the Carabao Cup, of course. It's a competition that I wouldn't put as one of our priorities. But at the same time, it's still a competition you do want to go far in. I don't believe in the whole thought process that, sack off the Carabao Cup, sack off the FA Cup. Let's focus on the Premier League and Champions League. I've never think that's the correct mindset to go with. I always think you should, if you're in a competition, try to win it. And there's a lot of players that were playing today, the likes of the Ramsdales, the Vieiras, that have not started a lot of games recently. And for them to start in the coming weeks, they need to put in a good performance there. And I don't think any of them proved that. Genuinely, I don't think anyone had a good game today. Not one player, I think, can come off that pitch thinking, yeah, I had a good game. I had a really good game. It was not me that let the team down. I think all of them were poor. Every single one of them, to a man, just offered us nothing. West Ham wanted it more. They fought more than us. They actually, when they got the ball, they looked dangerous in comparison to us. For all the possession we had, we never really looked like cutting them open. So, yeah, I think it's a really poor performance from us. Now, obviously, it's a 3-1 loss, which is never easy. And our next game is on Saturday evening against Newcastle United, which is a massive football match, by the way. We have to get a victory there, at Newcastle United, because I can't go into that game thinking, it's Newcastle, let's try and ease ourselves into the game. Because that's not exactly what you can do at Newcastle United. They're a tough team to play against, man. They're a tricky customer. If you go there on the back foot, you're going to get found out. You're going to get cut open. I mean, Newcastle right now, if I'm not mistaken, are 2-0 up against Manchester United at Old Trafford. That goes to show their quality. Yes, they've had injuries with Isak and players like that, but they're not going to slow down anytime soon. So, look, I think we need to improve massively for the game against Newcastle on the weekend. But for today, look, is that the Carabao Cup a big annoyance to me? No. Like, obviously, we got out, fine. It is what it is, man. Like, we would have had to go for the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final anyway to win the competition. It's not like winning today would have won us the cup. But at the same time, you don't want to go out of any competition. Like, you don't want to. You don't plan. We didn't plan this game thinking, okay, time to exit the Carabao Cup tonight. We didn't do that. We planned to get a victory here. And I don't feel like at any point we deserved the victory. And that's what really angers me. I don't think at any point we really sat there and took the game by the scruff of the neck. I don't think Vieira or Havertz really stood there and said, you know what? I'm in this team. I want to be the man that brings us to that next round of the Carabao Cup. I want to be the man that takes the game by the scruff of the neck. But you look on the other side, you see Paqueta, Kudus, Bowen, They actually look like they want to take the game by the scruff of the neck. They actually look like they want to be the game changers in this football match. And that's what really irritates me, man. Those the two sides of the coin. I don't feel like we did what West Ham wanted to do in this game. West Ham made it physical and we just didn't really compete with them. And that's got to be a real annoyance for myself and, of course, for Mikel Arteta and his training staff as well. But look, there's plenty of time to right these wrongs. It is a loss, and it's not a loss you want to take. It's a bitter taste in your mouth. But look, you suffered losses before. We'll suffer losses again. It's how you learn from them. It's like I always say, right? Losses in isolate are not the worst thing in the world. They're learning lessons. But when losses snowball to more losses and they become an avalanche, that's when you've got problems. Now, this isn't a Premier League game today, but if we lose today and then off the back of this loss, we lose to Newcastle on the weekend, we could then say that it was directly correlated to the performance against West Ham because that created the bad momentum that then led into the game against Newcastle. Do you get what I mean? So that Newcastle game has to be a bounce-back mentality. You have to right those wrongs from today. You can't go to that Newcastle game dwelling in your losses, thinking, oh, everything's doom and gloom around here. No, you have to go into that game and try and right those wrongs because that was not good enough one bit from Arsenal. Not good enough one bit. We've got a lot we need to improve on, an awful lot we need to improve on. So, yeah, I think overall, a lot that needs to be changed around the football club, to be honest with you guys. But we've got time to right those wrongs. And we've got a tough game against Newcastle, and I believe we can do something there. We won there last year. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but we have got the firepower to win that game. Let's talk about certain performances on the pitch today, because I do think certain players were not up to scratch whatsoever. Let's start with Eddie Nketiah up front. Had arguably his best game in an Arsenal shirt against Sheffield United on the weekend, but today was missing, bro. Casper de Go settings. Eddie Nketiah away from home is a completely different footballer to Eddie Nketiah at the Emirates. Am I the only one that sees that? Am I the only one that thinks that Eddie Nketiah away from home is a shadow of himself? Nowhere near the quality that we see at the Emirates. I don't get what it is. Like, it's all good scoring 3 goals against Sheffield United, bottom of the table, 1 point after 10 games. But I'm not saying the West Ham is going to be the litmus test for you. But Newcastle on the weekend, are you going to start for that game? Because if so, you need to turn up in that football match, Eddie Nketiah. Am I confident you'll turn up? To be honest, not really. Because I don't see enough from you away from home to make me believe that you're going to have a good performance at St. James's Park. But look, anything can happen, man. You've got quality players around you. We need you to turn up. Me personally, I'd start Havertz at the 9 on the weekend. Now, Havertz did not play well today. Make no mistake about it. I thought he had a good 5-10 minutes, but after that, I think he was basically non-existent in the football match. But at least Havertz at the number 9 will provide some kind of outball against Newcastle United. So me personally, against Newcastle, I would run Havertz at the number 9 and drop Nketiah. Now, is it going to happen? No, because Nketiah scored a hat-trick in his last Premier League game. Arteta's not going to drop that man. But I personally would. So I don't think Eddie Nketiah will offer us enough against Newcastle to warrant him starting in the team, in my opinion. I think it's far more, actually, I think it's going to be far more successful if Havertz is in the team. So at least that'll give us some kind of outball to play off. That's why I think Arteta should be playing. Let's look at some other performers, though. Emil Smith-Rowe. Now, obviously, did not play today because he was ill. Fine. But who comes in to replace him? Fabio Vieira. Was Vieira good? No. Once again, Vieira, man, he started the season very well. In his first 4 or 5 games, he was coming off the bench and I'm actually playing quite well. But for some reason, I don't know what it is, but he's just not carried on that form since he hasn't been playing games anymore. Arteta basically dropped him from not only the team, but from the bench as well. And since he's now come back into the team, he's been a shadow of himself as well. Nowhere near the quality we've been used to. Now, Vieira's meant to be good for his final ball, but today he offered none of it, man. Absolutely none of it. I thought he was another poor performer in there. But look, we got plenty of time. But sorry, I'm expecting Arteta to revert back to Odegaard for the game against Newcastle. So I wouldn't be too worried about Vieira's performance, to be honest. But one thing I will say is, regardless of Vieira's performance, Havertz's performance, Reece Nelson's performance, etc., I think you got to look at the team as a collective, man, as an absolute collective, because I think it wasn't just one man that let us down today. I thought Reece Nelson in the first half was okay, to be fair to him. I don't think he was that bad. I thought Trossard in the first half was bad, really poor, was not being as explosive as I'd expect him to. Now, I think the service was poor as well. The problem is, right, we've got a midfield 3 in that first half of Jorginho, Havertz, and Vieira, and there was 0 ball progression in there. 0 ball progression. There was not one point where we picked up that football and were looking forward with it. Everything was just stuttery. It was just slow and lethargic and laborious. We didn't really look like doing anything forward. And that really annoyed me, because in a game today where you're playing against West Ham United, we should be more on the front foot and progressing that ball through the line much quicker than we were doing. much quicker than we were doing. But we weren't. We were just slow with it. Everything was just, like I said, we were passing, but we were just passing laterally. It was going left and right to the right back, to Jorginho, to the left back. But there was no cutting edge through the middle. And when you see Havertz and Vieira in the team, that should be the cutting edge. But it was like a blunt knife out there. I thought Zinchenko was poor as well. Really bad today, Zinchenko. Offered us absolutely nothing in an attacking sense. And going backwards was losing his man on every opportunity. He had no defensive IQ whatsoever. It's like every single time he looks over his shoulder, the man's gone on the run and he hasn't followed him. I don't get it. Like, Zinchenko has been in this league for a long time now. He's played football for an awful long time. I'm not asking him to be a world-class Maldini defender, but at least be competent defensively. You've been playing left back for a good 6-7 seasons now, my friend. Like, you should know how to follow a run. Like, it's basics. You don't even have to be a footballer to know that if that man's making a run, you're his marker, follow him. On that goal for Kudus, what is he doing? He's like the man running behind him. He's confused. Then by the time he recovers, Kudus takes a horrible touch because he doesn't even mean to do that. And Zinchenko's out of position because he's committed, because of his mistake, to run on the man. And he's just beating him. It's poor, man. It's poor from Zinchenko again. How many times is this man going to let us down defensively? That's why I'm not surprised that Timber got bought in the summer. That's why I'm not surprised. I'm not going to be surprised when we see Tomiyasu, in my opinion, start against Newcastle next week. I'm convinced. On Saturday, Tomiyasu will start against Newcastle. It won't be Zinchenko. I promise you guys that. Because Zinchenko does nothing going backwards, man. And Newcastle aren't going to come to play games. Trust me, if you thought West Ham's attack was good today, wait till you see Newcastle's attack. They're 10 times better than West Ham. So I think we've got a lot to improve, man. An awful lot to improve. Let's get into some of your comments. Jeff, appreciate your stream, my friend. Didn't see this coming, but I'll have to watch your match review later. Still watching Man U versus Newcastle. Yes, Man U versus Newcastle going on right now. I believe the score, if I'm not mistaken, is 3-0. Wow. It was 2-0 a second ago. Now it's 3-0. Okay. Wow. Crazy scene. 65 minutes gone. And it is 3-0 to, what's it called? Newcastle United. So I think they're going to sleepwalk their way through that game, to be honest with you guys. But another one, to be honest. Let's be real, yeah? The rest of your comments aren't coming through, by the way. I hope they'll come through very soon. But I do have it by the side of me. So I'll be able to react to your comments regardless, even if I can't pull them on the screen, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, Newcastle's going to have confidence now. Think about it, guys. Newcastle traveling to Man United. We're traveling to West Ham with both of us playing on the weekend. Who's got the tougher game? Now, on paper, it's Newcastle United. They're winning 3-0. We've lost 3-0. Or 3-1, sorry. How did that manage to happen? How have we gone to West Ham and lose 3-1? I don't get it. Like, West Ham are not an amazing team. They just lost to Everton on the weekend. Everton are crap. So I'm confused as to how we've let this happen. Now, one thing that really does worry me an awful lot, guys, it worries me an awful lot, is the fact that our squad depth is overrated from what we've seen today. Overrated. Because let's be honest right now, guys, yeah? We've seen our team play in certain matches, yeah, where we had one or two starting players out and we replace them. Odegaard out, Vieira comes in. Gabriel Jesus is out, Nketiah comes in. Partey's out, you've got, what's my man that comes in? The team, Jorginho comes in. Fine. But today was a stark example of our B team. This is our full B team. There was not a single starting player in that team apart from Ben White, arguably Zinchenko, could be Tomiyasu or Timber, and of course Gabriel. That was it. The rest of the team was all our B team. So this was a prime example of how our B team is going to play. And it was poor. It was poor, guys, man. The quality drop-off was bad. Like, severely bad. This wasn't a case of Arsenal getting unlucky and losing 3-1. We were outperformed today on the pitch. Outperformed. West Ham looked the better of us. They looked more mature than us, more experienced than us. And that does worry me because, look, I'm not asking our B team to be like the starting 11 because that's not going to be possible. You can't have 22 amazing players in your team. But I wasn't expecting the drop-off to be this bad. Like, not this bad. This was horrible. And this does worry me because, look, Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard out for this game. And our attack had nothing. Absolutely nothing going forward, bro. Like, nothing. Like, we might as well stuck me up front because we would do nothing. Let's be real. I think Eddie Nketiah had a couple half chances, but Eddie Murphy ain't going to do nothing up front. Let's be real with it. If it's not Sheffield United at home, this brother's useless. I hate to say it as it is, but Eddie Nketiah away from home is a shadow of Eddie Nketiah at the Emirates. He loses all his powers away from home. It's like Space Jam. You just zap his powers out from him when he plays away from home. Now, we're traveling to St. James's Park with a striking force of either Eddie Nketiah or Kai Havertz up front. Pick your poison. Because no one's cooking up front for us then. No one is cooking. Now, me personally, I'd play Kai Havertz through the middle because at least he'd offer us an out ball. But no, Arteta, he's going to play Eddie Nketiah up front. So by hook or by crook, we need Eddie Nketiah to have a good game up front. We need to have a really good game up front. Do I see it happening? To be honest, no. Just because I don't see Eddie Nketiah perform consistently away from home in the big games for me to believe he's suddenly going to turn it around and play well against Newcastle. If anything, he would have played well today because West Ham's a far easier opponent than Newcastle, and they had a change back four. Zuma was out, for example. But let's be real with it right now, guys, yeah? It's all good putting some blame on Eddie Nketiah, but there's some other players as well that need to be accounted for. Vieira and Havertz are meant to be the playmakers. Equally, Trossard and Reece Nelson. What were they really playmaking? They weren't. Whenever they got the ball, they were just passing left and passing right. They weren't actually going through the team. Now, I appreciate it's just a cup game, and obviously it's not a Premier League match that we've lost. But I always think that you should play every game like you mean to win it. And I think this can fester and actually start to create some kind of bad momentum that can lead into the Premier League games. Because that's what's happened before for us. We lost the game in the FA Cup to Man City. Then we went on to draw to Brentford and lose to Man City in the Premier League. So many will say, oh, you lost in the FA Cup. It's not the end of the world. But then look what followed on from that. We dropped 5 points in our next 2 games to Brentford and Man City. Do you get what I mean? So cup games, yes, they're only cup games. And yes, it's only getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup. But if we don't bounce back, this can lead on to losing or drawing at St. James's Park. Suddenly then, it doesn't just become a cup game lost. It manifests into 2 or 3 points dropped on the weekend. Do you get what I mean? So, yes, you might say it's a perfectionist approach from myself. But I always like to think that treat every game like it's your final. Treat every game like you want to win it. No Arsenal fan goes into this game before the game started thinking, perfect opportunity to get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. Perfect opportunity to rest all our players, get knocked out and focus on the Premier League. No Arsenal fan said that. Every Arsenal fan going into this game said, yeah, I want to win this game. I want to go into the quarterfinals. Man City already knocked out. Manchester United or Newcastle could get knocked out tonight as well. It's a good opportunity for us. We're the favourites to win this tournament. But no, we just get knocked out in bad fashion. And look, I would not have minded if we got knocked out 2-1 and they scored 2 fluke goals, but we dominated the game from start to finish and was peppering their goal. I would not mind that. But the reason I'm so annoyed is because of the performance we put in. We put in a bad performance. And this wasn't a performance where we weren't trying. We just looked bad. Like we looked bad. We looked lost for ideas. We looked clueless up front. We were toothless in attack and naive in defense. It was a terrible combination. And it manifested into what was, in my opinion, a really poor game for us to watch. Now, West Ham, every time they went forward, they looked like scoring. They looked like scoring every time they went forward. It's like the ball was made of gold dust for them. I couldn't believe it. Like they're progressing forward on the football. We're sitting at the back and we're just waiting to get penetrated. That's how it is. West Ham had. Let's check out the match stats actually, because I'm talking a lot. I guarantee West Ham did not have more than 5 shots on target. They just scored with every attempt basically. West Ham 3-1 Arsenal. Right. Let's look at the match stats. Let me actually share my screen so you guys can see it. Present. Share screen. We have West Ham 3-1 Arsenal. Share. Okay, so then, yeah, you guys can see it, right? Let me do this so it's easier. So, yeah, look, guys, I'm not even wrong. West Ham had 3 shots all game. 3 shots on target all game and 5 shots. They beat us with every single one of their shots on target going into the back of net. We had 72% on the ball. Is this not alarming for you guys? Is this not alarming that we've lost 3-1 with the opponent having 28% of the possession, 5 shots and 3 on target, and we've had 14 shots, 3 on target and 72% of the ball? Is that not alarming? Am I the only one that's actually alarmed by this? Am I the only one that's sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, we've had 14 shots, 3 on target, 72% of the ball, and we've waited until the 94th minute to score a goal. And West Ham on the flip side have bagged 3 goals in with 28% of the ball and 3 shots on target. That for me is worrying. That for me is the hallmarks of a soft team. That for me is the hallmarks of a team that can't defend. And look, the most worrying part is, apart from Kivior, that's our starting back 4. Ben White, it would be Saliba for Kivior, and that's our starting back 4. Yes, you could say Raya for Ramsdale, but I don't think, look, apart from the 3rd goal, Ramsdale basically punched it in his own net. I don't think Ramsdale was at fault for the other 2 goals. I think it was more really bad defending on our part. So I think there's a lot to improve there. Every time West Ham went forward, they looked like they were scoring. Now, on the flip side, for us going forward, like I said, it says 14 shots, but that's fake stats in my eyes. We never really looked like scoring. I think we had 2 good chances that whole game, minus the goal. We had Eddie Nketiah where he should have done better, hooked over the bar, and we had a header as well that he probably could have done better from. Other than that, we never really looked like scoring. All our chances were like half chances. But that's neither here nor there, man. It's one of those things. I just hope it doesn't manifest into more games because, look, like I said, one-off games are fine. We're not going to go unbeaten this season. No team's going to go unbeaten this season. When Tottenham lost in the Carabao Cup to Fulham, they responded. I'm looking for a similar thing from us now. This is our first domestic loss this season. If you don't count the Lens game, obviously, in the Champions League, I want to see a response against Newcastle on the weekend because that's not an easy game. Newcastle are a very tough team. And if you go to Newcastle with even a hint of self-doubt or naivety or like lack of confidence in your game, Newcastle will find you out. St. James's Park will find you out. So we need to go to that game bang on form, locked in with confidence. We can't go to that game trying to feel our way into it. Now, the benefit is players like Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard will come back into starting 11, like Declan Rice as well. So we won't have to watch Eddie Ball, but we won't have to watch Reece Nelson or Vieira or Georgina. We'll watch Georgina, but you get what I mean? We'll see our starters back into the team again. So hopefully this was just a blip because our starting 11 weren't there. But regardless, let's be real about it right now, man. These players that were still on the pitch, the Havertz's, the Vieiras, they're good enough to beat West Ham United. They're still good footballers. I mean, I've heard all the Arsenal fans online say that they should deserve to start games. Well, they didn't show it today, to be honest with you guys. If there's any player that wanted to start a game against Newcastle on the weekend and use today as like an advert for that, I don't think any of them succeeded. Not a single one. Top games are there, so you can actually show to the manager, Gaffer, look at me. I put in a really good performance. Give me a goal on the weekend. Not a single player did that. Not a single player really sat there and went, you know what? Yeah, I want to actually do well in this game. Let me take the game by the scruff of the neck. Let's propel us to the quarterfinal. Not a single player did that. And the worrying thing is when I look on the other side at West Ham United, I see Paqueta, Bowen, Kudus. They were the ones that were said, yeah, I'm ready for this game. Give me the ball. Let me make something happen. Where was those players for us? Where was the players that actually wanted to do something with the football? But instead it was Havertz gets the ball, sideways to Vieira. Vieira gets the ball, sideways to Ben White. There was no like cutting edge. There was no like going forward. It was all easy. It was all in front of West Ham. We waited until the 94th minute to actually penetrate them. And lo and behold, with a diagonal passing behind, we scored a goal. Where was that all game? Do you get what I mean? But look, it's one of those things, man. Let's get into your comments, though. Jordy, appreciate your stream. My friend, I'm doing really well. It is currently Newcastle versus Manchester United as well. I believe Newcastle winning 3-0. However, lads, revenge successful, mate. But by the way, sorry for your loss against West Ham. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I appreciate it. Obviously, big up Newcastle as well because they managed to come back after their loss in the Carabao Cup final to Man United. I can't wait for the game on the weekend. I will be streaming on this channel Saturday evening for Newcastle versus Arsenal. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're new around here. You do not want to miss it. Malio, good evening as well. Poor performance. Very bad performance, man. Sleepwalking into a defeat. Yeah, that's another thing, actually. Really good point here, Malia. Where was our urgency? Where was our urgency? Now, I think for West Ham United and David Moyes, what you actually really like from this game is not only that they won 3-0, it's that after going 3-0 up, they actually contained Arsenal very well. And on the flip side, what actually really angered me as well, and will anger Arteta as well, once we went 3-0 down, where was the urgency to get back into the game? We brought on the subs like Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Rice came on. But after going 3-0 down, we didn't sit there and go, okay, that's it. Time to go forward. Let's go fully at them. Let's go for it. Last 30 minutes, all out. Because they made it 3-0 after 60 minutes. It's not like it was 3-0 with 5 minutes left. It was 3-0 after 60 minutes. We still have enough quality on that football pitch to bring it back to 3-3 and take it to penalties. So we had enough quality to bring this game back. But at 3-0, the really annoying thing for me was there was no urgency. No one was like, give me the football, let's turn our fortunes around and get going in this direction. We went 3-0 and we just continued to do what we were doing for the first 60 minutes. Passing left, passing right, sleepwalking. We just kind of just suffered our defeat. It was a slow, painful death, this game. This wasn't a ransack West Ham United, absolutely smash and grab job. This was a painful, as you say, Malaya, sleepwalking to a defeat. We stumbled slowly to our death. We were just there, just like waiting for defeat. Just like passing it around, just slowly just disintegrating and dissolving to nothingness. And that really annoys me because I want to see urgency. Surely, like, if I, even like you, man, anyone that plays like football, even if it's on the park, or say you play FIFA, perfect example. Anyone here that plays FIFA, yeah? If you're 3-0 down on FIFA,
Do you continue doing what you're doing to lose 3-0? Or do you actually go, hang on a minute, what I was doing made us lose 3-0. Let's change our tactics up and start playing forward, start playing long ball or something. You change up, right? That's common sense. I mean, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. What changed from our game from 3-0 down to after 3-0? Nothing changed. We played the same way the whole 90 minutes. And that worries me because any competent manager, and it doesn't even have to be the manager, players on a football pitch, you've got experienced pros on there, like the Jorginhos, the Declan Rices, etc. These experienced footballers that have been around the game a long time. You should know and understand that we've lost 3-0 today. And I had the stats, so let's show the stats once again. We lost 3-1 today. West Ham scored off 3 shots on target and 28% of the ball. Something has gone horribly wrong. Let's change up. At 3-0 down, we should have gone, okay, change of game plan. We go long to Havertz, or we start playing down the wings a bit more. We stop passing around the back. Something should have changed. I don't know what it was. Maybe a formation change, a tactics change. Try something. It couldn't get any worse than 3-0. We were going to lose anyway. But we just continued the same game plan. We waited until with 20 minutes left to change it. Then we just brought on Sancar Media and didn't actually change anything in terms of tactics. It was only when Odegaard came on for Nketiah that we actually changed our tactics and played Havertz as a number 9 and looks actually a little bit better. Where was that change at 3-0 down? Now, I appreciate that we might still not have won the game if we'd made that change after 3-0. But surely we would have had a better chance of winning the game. Do you get what I mean? Like, you should have smelled danger as soon as it went. At 2-0, I was thinking this is dangerous. But at 3-0, that is your cue to go, okay, time to really change it. Time to actually fully rip it all up and start again, man. We're 3-0 down. The game's basically over, but let's try and rerun this. Let's try and get our players on the pitch. Take Eddie off, he's not doing enough. Put Havertz down the middle. Maybe you could have put Trossard down the middle and played Martinelli on for Eddie and Nketiah. Just try something. Just do something to change your fortunes. That's what really actually angered me from this game. Not just losing 3-1. It's the fact that there was a lack of urgency and a lack of changing our game plan after going 3-1 down. That's really got to annoy me if I'm an Arsenal fan. A ridiculous selection. The selection didn't annoy me, to be honest. I understood rotating the team. I wouldn't have played our starting 11. But what did annoy me is when you went 3-0 down, a lot should have changed. A lot should have changed, man. Zinchenko, poor. Yeah, he was bad, man. Losing his man after every ball. I couldn't believe it. You turn around, Zinchenko's gone, man. 3-0, let's go. Yeah, big up Newcastle, 3-0 up the tunes. I can't wait for that game on the weekend, man. Newcastle versus Arsenal. I will be streaming live on this channel. Exactly. Tomiyasu is a way better defender. Miles better than Zinchenko. Miles better. Zinchenko playing midfield next time or go somewhere else. Never in my lifetime want to see him playing left back. Bro, I can't lie, yeah. Zinchenko's going to get sold in the summer. I think Zinchenko's going to get sold in the summer, man. Because to me, yeah, this guy just ain't good enough to defend. And this is the thing, bro. It's not a surprise that Pep Guardiola binned him. Let's be real with it right now, guys, yeah? I know Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus have been good signings. I do think that. But let's be completely honest about it. In the cold, harsh truth, in the cold, harsh day, the truth is, yeah, Man City sold Zinchenko and sold Jesus and went on to not only win the Premier League again, but win the treble. Let's be real about it right now. They sold Jesus and they sold Zinchenko and went on to win the treble. And Arsenal fans are sitting here thinking, oh my God, we got the deal of a lifetime. We scammed Man City. No, we didn't, bro. We didn't. They've been those two players and gone on to win a treble. They understood that those players were good, but we needed great. Zinchenko went and Jesus went and they brought in a Kanji and Haaland and now brought in Gvardiol. Do you see the difference, the discrepancy in quality? So now Jesus wasn't playing today. I appreciate that, but I still think we need a striker. It's crazy that a season onwards, Arsenal fans are suddenly going, we need a striker and we need a left back. Now the left back obviously will be Timber when he comes back. Arteta understood that one, so at least he fought ahead with that one. But now we need a striker as well. The two players we bought from Man City, we're looking to replace at the end of the season. Hopefully in January, in my eyes. With Timber coming back into the team and hopefully signing Ivan Toney in January. Isn't that crazy to think? The two players Arsenal fans have gone, oh my God, we brought in Zinchenko and Jesus. They've been revolutionary. They've changed our whole team around. Lo and behold, we want to replace them in a year's time. Isn't that funny? So I think it just goes to show you that the players we bring in are good, but they're not quite elite. And that's the difference right now, man. That is the difference. Luca, appreciate your stream. My friend, have been really well. Do chill. It's only the Carabao Cup. It is only the Carabao Cup, but I don't like bad performances. That's what really annoys me. Bad results happen. Getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup is fine. It can happen. We're not going to win every game this season. I appreciate that. We're going to lose football matches. But what I don't like is losing in the manner in which we did, where we just looked miles worse, to be fair. miles worse. So I think we've got a lot to fix up, to be honest, a lot to fix up. But look, we can right our wrongs on the weekend against Newcastle. If we beat Newcastle on the weekend, all is well. And I won't worry about this game today. But if we lose to Newcastle on the weekend or draw in the same manner we did to Chelsea, there's going to be problems. There's going to be big problems, man. Hi, see you on appreciate on stream. I think I'm doing really well. The Real Poison Super from Twitch. Appreciate on stream. I think I'm doing really well. Man, you're my favorite delusional Arsenal fan. At least I'm brightening up your day, man. At least I'm brightening up your day. But if you're going to keep yapping, just become manager. Seems like you're better than Arteta. I wish, man. I wish. Nah, Arteta's doing a good job, man. He's doing a good job. I'm not Arteta out. Make no mistake about it. But here's the difference, right? A lot of people, a lot of Arsenal fans, a lot of people in general, actually, if you make a positive comment or a negative comment about your manager, people assume the extremes. Like if I go, oh, Arteta did brilliant today, everyone thinks that I'm just, oh, Arteta for life. Arteta in for life. Equally, if I go, Arteta messed up today, everyone goes, oh, you're Arteta out. It's not. I just question the manager if I think he's made the wrong decision. I just have a brain of my own. I feel like there's too many people that they're too staunch in their opinion, whether it's left or right, whether it's Arteta out or Arteta in. They're just, every single thing has to match their agenda, whichever way it is, for the manager or against the manager. Me, I just give my opinion. I like Arteta overall. I think he should stay in the job, and I'm not Arteta out. But if Arteta makes the wrong decision or doesn't take action, or worse, does inaction, I'm going to call up on it. I'm going to call him up on it and say, I don't think you should have done that. That's what having an opinion is about. Feel free to disclose your opinion in the live chat, just like I disclose my opinion on the stream, man. I think everyone's entitled to that, man. I don't think Arteta's made 100% right decisions in his job, and nor will he, because we're humans, we're going to make mistakes. And his judgment is not going to be elite like Pep Guardiola or managers like that. But that's where you've got to learn from it. And that's why I've got to pick him up if he makes mistakes. That's just how it is. You dumpster dive after City's trash, bro. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Which stadium is the best one? Give one answer for design and one for heritage. The best stadium in terms of design, sorry, Arsenal fans, is Tottenham Stadium. I've been there. Tottenham Stadium is actually amazing. Tottenham's new stadium is elite. In terms of heritage, I'm a go for heritage-wise. If you're saying like in terms of, I'm gonna go San Siro for heritage-wise. If you're talking Premier League, I'll go for either Old Trafford or Anfield, but in terms or Villa Park. But worldwide, I'm gonna go for San Siro for heritage. But to be fair, the trophy pass with the Emirates Cup gonna go hard. Yeah, bro. So I was mocking it, man. He's mocking it. Go Arsenal, lads. We won the Emirates Cup better than City's stupid treble. All right, you're mocking it, man. You're mocking it. City's trash meant City's old players, bro. Yeah, look, they're not trash, but let's be real about it. City upgraded for a reason. Let's be completely honest about it. City upgraded for a reason. They understood that, okay, we got Zinchenko and Jesus on the books. Let's get rid of them and let's upgrade. Same reason they got rid of Cole Palmer and brought in Jeremy Doku. These are good players, but they're not elite players. And Man City understand that. They understand that they're going to go for the elite players in world football. But look, it's one of those things, man. I think we've got time in January to right our wrongs. And it's not like Man City are firing right now. Obviously, they beat Man United on the weekend, so they played really well in that game as well. But look, they're going to lose matches. We're going to lose matches. It's going to be a slugfest. It's a marathon, not a sprint, man. The race is not for the swift, as Robbie keeps saying. You keep buying our old players. I mean, we bought 2 of your old players, to be honest, man. I don't think we'll buy any more, to be honest. Not that I think City will sell to us anymore anyway, to be honest with you guys. I think when you sold to us, you thought that we weren't going to do anything, to be honest. But lo and behold, we did. we almost won the league with your players. But look, that's just one of those things. But yeah, it's just a cup, guys, man. It's just a Carabao Cup. I don't know what to think. I think, to be fair, it's obviously, it annoys me that we lost the game in the manner in which we did. But I think, look, if we beat Newcastle on the weekend, I'll be all right, man. I'll just understand it's one of those things. Stephen, appreciate on stream. My friend, I'm doing really well. Every season in the cup, it's the same. Bro, you're so right. Every season in the cup, it's the same, man. We go into the Carabao Cup and we just get knocked out to some team we shouldn't get knocked out to every time. Now, is it because our second team is bad? I'm not too sure. Potentially. I mean, you could say that's the reason today. Is it a mentality thing? Arguably that as well. I'm not too sure. It's probably a mixture of the both. To be honest with you guys, isn't it a surprise that more often than not, Man City win the Carabao Cup? Because Carabao Cup is where you rotate your squad, right? Every team rotates in the Carabao Cup. It doesn't matter who you are. You rotate. West Ham rotated today as well. They played a strong team, but you have players like, for example, Mavropanos in the team, Kufau in the team, etc. Wood-Prowse wasn't in the team. Do you get what I mean? So every team rotates in the Carabao Cup. So there's no surprise that Man City win the Carabao Cup 9 times out of 10. It's because they've got the best squad depth. Now, what alarmed me today is I thought during the summer we actually improved our squad depth. Now, if you look at that starting 11 on paper, it's actually a good team. Like, you look at that starting 11 on paper, you think that's actually a good team. That's enough quality to beat West Ham United. But they didn't play like that today. That team played horribly today. That was a shadow of the Arsenal I am used to watching. I see that team and I think, yeah, Vieira, Havertz, Trossard, Nketiah with a hat-trick on the weekend, Reece Nelson, you got Jorginho, experienced player, Gabriel Magalhaes, you got good players in there, man. Ramsdale's a starting goalkeeper for most Premier League teams. But they didn't look like it today. They looked like a shadow of themselves. They looked like a soft team. Like I said, I can pull up the stats once again, guys, those of you that didn't see it earlier. Look at the stats. West Ham had 5 shots, 3 on target with 28% of the ball, and won this game 3-1. That's alarming to me. That's alarming to me that we allowed that to happen. West Ham did not dominate this game. It was a smash and grab job from them in that respect. But it was smash and grab in terms of their scoring, but they controlled the game as well. Not at one point in this game did the tie ever look like it was out of the equation that West Ham were going to win it. It was always going to be West Ham's game. There was nothing we inputted into the formula that was going to change the result. The equation was just a West Ham victory. And that really did annoy me. But look, it's a cup game. Like I said, if you're going to lose a game, I'd rather lose the Carabao Cup than the Champions League or Premier League. But that's a soft excuse as well, because probability doesn't work like that. Just because we lost today doesn't mean we're not going to lose again on the weekend. Do you get what I mean? But for me, that game on the weekend's massive now, man. Absolutely massive. It was massive before today, regardless of the result, but it's even more massive now because we need to respond to that loss now to West Ham United. Abayane, I appreciate John Stream. My friend, doing really well. Liverpool, Arsenal. Are you saying Liverpool? Liverpool, Arsenal. Please, I don't understand your question right now, bro. Sorry, man. I don't understand your question. It's not just a cup, it's a trophy. You should treat it just the same as a league. I agree with you. Look, I appreciate that it's not of the same importance as the Premier League, but I agree with you. If you're in a cup, Carabao Cup, treat it importantly, man. Treat it importantly. There's not a single Arsenal fan that watched this game today, took 2 hours out of their day today to watch this game, going into this game thinking, you know what, yeah, all right, we're out this game. All right, it's the Carabao Cup. It's a good opportunity to get knocked out today. Not a single Arsenal fan will think that. Not a single Arsenal fan bought their ticket to this game or turned on the TV to watch this game thinking, okay, perfect. West Ham away, perfect opportunity. Let's get knocked out and focus on the Premier League. No one would say that. Every Arsenal fan appreciated that. Yes, it's the Carabao Cup, but it's still a trophy we want to win. We're in the quarterfinals. We're the favourites to win it. Man City got knocked out in the 3rd round. Man City win the Carabao Cup every season. They've got knocked out, basically. That's a massive chance for us now to win it. Newcastle, Man United are going to get knocked out today. Turns out it's going to be Man United. So we should have gone into this with far more of a forward mentality and attacking edge. But we lacked it. Plus, another annoying thing is, right, it's an opportunity to rotate the squad. I have no problem with that. If anyone watched my preview, by the way, become a channel member, you get to watch all my previews for every single Arsenal game. It's the first thing in the description for just $8.99 a month. You get to watch every single preview I drop for every single Arsenal game, exclusive to channel members. But yeah, in that preview, I said we should rotate the squad. My starting 11 was basically the same as this starting 11 Arteta played, except Smith Rowe started instead of, I believe, Eddie Nketiah. That was my only change, with Havertz as a number 9. But I was expecting then, I said in the preview, I was expecting, right? Okay, you've changed the squad around. Hopefully, these players that get rotated in take this game out of scruff the neck and understand that, okay, it's my opportunity. The light's been shone onto me. Let me take this game out of scruff the neck and earn myself a starting position against Newcastle on the weekend. But no one did that. The Carabao Cup games are like auditions, advertisements. You're telling the manager, hey, pick me. I deserve to play. But no one did that today. And that does worry me a little bit. But look, like I said, the Newcastle game is far more important. I do believe it is. I think the Carabao Cup is important. But Newcastle away from home is a big, big game for me. Let's respond in that one, man. Let's respond big time. Vieira Havertz not good enough for Arsenal. I agree. Nowhere near good enough today. I think Havertz is better as a number 9. I think I will play him against Newcastle as a number 9 just as an outball. And Vieira, again, he started the season well, but ever since he got dropped from the team, he's not been the same player, to be honest. Not been the same player one bit. How are your modules going right now? Yeah, good, thank you. I've only got 5 this term, so not too bad. I'm trying to keep up with it. But yeah, still doing other stuff at the same time. Also, guys, I'm going to make a comment about the Carabao Cup, by the way, because I've been meaning to make this comment for a while. Those of you that have been here before might have heard me say this. What are your guys' thoughts on the Carabao Cup? This is my genuine thought on the Carabao Cup, right? England has got 4 cup. Sorry, let me refrain that. Let me start again. Run it back. Clubs in England play in 4 competitions if you're in the Premier League potentially. If you're in Europe, that is. The Premier League, the Champions League / Europa League / Conference League, the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Whereas teams in every other league in the world only playing 3 competitions. That doesn't really make sense to me. The fixture scheduling is tough enough as it is. Plus, other leagues like Bundesliga, for example, only has 18 teams. So the Premier League teams are playing a lot of fixtures. Now, me personally, I would like to see teams that are in Europe not playing the Carabao Cup. What that would mean is, right, that if you're in the Carabao Cup, that's because you did not make Europe. And the teams that are in Europe don't go into the Carabao Cup. So every team basically plays in 3 competitions each season. Now, this is good for 2 reasons. One, it stops the fixture congestions for teams in Europe, and it allows them to actually focus more on their league games and actual Champions League / Europa League / Conference League games. And 2, it means teams that don't ever get to win trophies have a really good chance of winning the cup competitions now, like a Carabao Cup. Because every season, a big team wins the Carabao Cup, which isn't good. Because back in the old days, right, it used to be always like a team that wasn't that good would win the Carabao Cup. Do you get what I mean? Same with the FA Cup. Like you see Wigan win the FA Cup or something like that. Nowadays, I feel like the top teams win all the competitions now. It's genuinely monopolized by the top teams. They will win every single cup competition. And I don't like that. So me personally, let me know if you agree in the live chat. I would love to see the Carabao Cup only be available to teams that are not in Europe. Because it means the teams that are not in Europe have a genuine opportunity at winning a cup competition this season. And the teams that are not in Europe, the teams that are in Europe don't really care about the Carabao Cup anyway. Let's be real about it. Let me know if you agree. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion on it, on that one. But regardless, that's just a poor excuse for today's game anyway, in a game that we should have done much better in. Much better in, to be honest with you guys. But look, that's just where the cookie crumbles sometimes. We weren't at our best whatsoever. But we've got a lot of time to right our wrongs. A lot of time to right our wrongs. Because, guys, look, think about our next game, right? Our next game is Newcastle United. That is a tough game, man. A tough game. Newcastle United do not play games. I know they've got injuries like Isak's out, for example. I know you've got injuries like who's the other brother that's out, man? Not injuries. They've got suspensions like Sandro Tonali's out as well. But this is not going to be easy. Not going to be easy one bit for Arsenal. We need to go into this game with a lot of confidence, an awful lot of confidence. So we need to focus big time. Yeah, exactly, Mali. Exactly as you're saying. We need to focus on our next games. 100%, man. 100% agree. We need to focus on our next games because this is not going to be easy. Not going to be easy in our next matches. So it starts with Newcastle on the weekend, and then we go from there. Newcastle right now are 3-0 up against Manchester United. They're going to win that game and progress. So look, I've got an awful lot to fix. At our club. Chelsea versus Liverpool will probably be the final, another shootout incoming. Yeah, their last 2 finals have been horrible, man. Horrible, Chelsea and Liverpool. But yeah, Chelsea, big up them for making the quarterfinals, beating Blackburn 2-0, I believe, so far. November is packed. Yeah, November's a busy month, man. Busy month for this channel as well. Busy month for this channel. But yeah, the Arsenal games come thick and fast now, guys, bro. Like, we're at the Carabao Cup, fine, but the games are going to keep coming. So now we've got on the weekend Newcastle. Then we've got Sevilla in the Champions League. Not easy. As you say, yes, Seville next Wednesday. Not easy. Not easy one bit. Then Burnley. That's not an easy game either. Did I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's an international break? I could be wrong. Let me check. Actually, best thing to do, let me pull up the Arsenal fixtures. Then we can actually have a real look at what we've got going with the Arsenal fixtures. Let me pull up the Arsenal fixtures for you guys. So here is the Arsenal fixtures, everybody. So obviously lost 3-0 to West Ham today, not great. Next, we've got Newcastle on the weekend. Tough game, but look, we should still have enough quality in that football match. Then we've got Sevilla at home, then Burnley at home. So we need to win our next 2 Premier League games. Then we've got a break, obviously, for the international break. Then we've got Brentford, we've got Lens at home, and then we've got Wolves at home and Luton away. So our next 5 Premier League games are Newcastle away, which is tough, but then it's Burnley, Brentford, who are struggling away from home, then Wolves and Luton. We could have a really good run in the Premier League right now. If we get 13 points out of 15, that's a good return. That's a really good return, genuinely. So I think we're capable of getting 15, very much capable of getting 15, but 13 out of 15 would be I'd be very happy with that. Very happy with that in my eyes. But it all starts on the weekend because you lose to Newcastle United, suddenly bad momentum starts to hit. Bad momentum starts to hit because it becomes, a case of lose to West Ham, lose to Newcastle. Then we've got Sevilla in the Champions League. It's at home, so we should bounce back, but you never know. So I think we've got to look at this game and really start to buck up our ideas, understand that it's going to get real tough out here. We need to actually start to put in good performances, man. Really good performances, because we can't mess about with these dead performances. But yeah. In terms of our starting 11 against, what's the team, man? In terms of our starting 11 against Newcastle, who would you play? Me personally against Newcastle United, I would go down the middle with Havertz. I would play Havertz personally as number 9. I understand you're saying Havertz should not play, but I would rather start him than Nketiah because at least Havertz will give us an output. I'm not saying play him as a midfielder, absolutely not. but I play him as number 9. I would go for Havertz down the middle. I'd go Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Rice, Jorginho, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, and David Raya. That's who I'd go for as my team against Newcastle. Do you agree? Let me know. I think that's the best possible team we can go for, man. I don't think we should go for Eddie Nketiah away from home because he does not play well away from home. I don't think we should play Trossard unless he comes off the bench, because I think he's better as a bench player. I think you can't play Vieira or Emil Smith-Rowe if he's back from his injury, because I think it's too risky to play Odegaard and them two. And Odegaard has to start out of all the midfielders. He scored today as well. So yeah, I think we've got a lot to prove against Newcastle. But this is the opportunity to do so, man. It's the opportunity to right some wrongs. Are we capable of doing so? Absolutely, we're capable of doing so. But will we actually do it? Who knows, man? Do I have faith in us? Not really, to be fair. Not really. But anything can happen in football. Absolutely anything can happen in football. No Partey. Yeah, Partey needs to come back from injury, man. This guy's always injured. Always injured. Does my head in. Streaming schedule this weekend. Okay, yeah, because it's been an alteration. Saturday, Fulham versus Man United. I'll be streaming. Let me leave in the live chat. Fulham versus Man United. Stream. It will be also then it will be a Newcastle versus Arsenal stream. I'm not streaming for the Luton Liverpool game because I'm going out on Sunday evening, but I'll be back for Tottenham versus Chelsea. So that is my streaming schedule. Those 3 games I'm streaming this weekend. Let me put that there. So those are the 3 games I'm streaming this weekend. Fulham United, Newcastle Arsenal, and Tottenham Chelsea. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you do not miss it. And if you want extra content in the meantime, check out my personal YouTube channel. It's my name, Ben Sancar. I'm dropping more videos on there, at least. So yeah, check that one out if you want bonus content as well. Not football related, of course, but yeah. In the meantime and in between time. Monday, come on Chelsea, yeah. But come on Chelsea, man. We need to turn over Tottenham. I want Tottenham to not go unbeaten, to be honest. That's my aim. We can't see Tottenham go unbeaten for even a minute longer. That's hopefully what we need to see. Come on, you Blues. Yeah, man. Come on, you Blues. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah. Hopefully Chelsea get a result. But yeah, so an action-packed weekend in football, of course, I cannot wait for. The November schedule is coming thick and coming fast, and that's exactly what I like to see, to be honest. But yeah, the game's going to keep coming. We got to keep performing. That's just how it is. But yeah, that's going to wrap up the stream today, guys. I appreciate everyone that did tune in. As always, if you are new around here and did enjoy, make sure you subscribe down below and hit the like button so this stream, when it does become a video, goes out to more people. Otherwise, I appreciate everyone that tuned in. It's a poor result today, but Arsenal will bounce back, hopefully, on the weekend against Newcastle. Also, consider becoming a channel member down below to get access to every single Arsenal preview this season. I will be previewing the game between Newcastle and Arsenal ahead of the game on the weekend, which I cannot wait for. Otherwise, I hope to catch you guys all in my next stream. Take care.